Very good afternoon. This is the midday news on Rajya Sabha TV. I'm Ashwarya with you, and here are the top headlines. Final list of Assam National Register of Citizens released. 3.11 crore found eligible. Over 19.07 lakh left out. Assam Chief Minister assures people complete assistance in appealing to foreign tribunals court if their name is excluded. Today is the last date to file income tax returns for 2018-19. IT department announces penalty ranging between 5,000 to 10,000 rupees for returns filed after the due date. Eight feared killed in explosions at a chemical factory in Dhule district of Maharashtra. At least 100 workers were in the factory premises at the time of explosion. Rescue operations underway. Vice President Venkaiah Naidu calls for reforms in global political, financial and business institutions at the Deccan Dialogue in Hyderabad. Reiterates that India supports all efforts to keep oceans open, secure and free for the benefit of all. And in Kingston, skipper Virat Kohli's half-century puts India in a strong position against West Indies on day one of the second test. Visitors end day at 264 for 5 with Rishabh Pant and Hanuma Vihari at the crease. Our top stories from Assam. The much-awaited final Assam National Register of Citizens was released today. The list excluded 19.07 lakh applicants, while the names of 3.11 crore applicants were included in the final NRC. The status of both inclusion and exclusion can be viewed online on the NRC website www.nrcassam.nic.in. The hard copies of the supplementary list of inclusions are available for public viewing at the NRC Sabha Kendras, Office of the Deputy Commissioner and offices of the Circle Officer during office hours. Any person who is not satisfied with the outcome of the claims and objections can file an appeal before the foreign tribunals. The state government has assured that the people left out of the final NRC will not be detained and that they can appeal against their exclusion in the foreigners' tribunals and subsequently move higher courts. Assam government will establish 400 foreigners' tribunals in the state to deal with such appeals.
The excluded person need not have to worry. In this regard, Indian Home Ministry has very clearly notified that whoever name will be excluded, they will get ample opportunity to appeal in the FT court. And the earlier time period was 60 days, but it has been extended for the convenience of the people for 120 days. So as long as appeal is there, no one will be treated as foreigners, because to declare a person foreigners is only the authority of the FT. So in this regard, no one has to panic, and we on behalf of the government of Assam want to assure you that everyone will be taken special care of, and whoever will be required the legal assistance, Government of Assam will extend wholehearted support to them. In this regard, I appeal all of you to maintain peace and tranquility in the state of Assam.
And in a major announcement aimed at economic growth, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman announced the merger of 10 nationalized banks into 4 entities. According to the government, the move will make a bank balance sheet stronger with a greater capacity to lend. Here are all the details.
As part of its plans to create fewer and stronger global-sized lenders, the government on Friday unveiled a mega plan to merge 10 public sector banks into 4 banks. Making the announcement, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman said the 4 new set of mergers will combine to form the nation's second largest lender after the State Bank of India. Under the scheme of amalgamation, Punjab National Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank of India will be merged to form India's second largest bank. Canara Bank will be merged with Syndicate Bank to create the fourth largest public sector bank with a business of 15.2 lakh crore rupees. Union Bank of India, Andhra Bank and Corporation Bank will be merged to form India's fifth largest public sector bank with 14.59 lakh crore rupees business. Indian Bank and Allahabad Bank will merge with 8.08 lakh crore rupees business.
The large capacity of one bank, the technology-driven capacity of another, and the strong deposit franchise the third has are all being brought together. So Punjab National Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank will be brought together, and they shall form the second largest public sector bank with business of 17.95 lakh crores, which is at least approximately 1.5 times that of Punjab National Bank. So that will be the first one that we're talking about. The second largest branch network that is available in India will be of theirs, with 11,437 branches. So the first one that we are announcing is Punjab National Bank, Oriental Bank of Commerce and United Bank. 3 together. What will this give us? A high CASA and lending capacity combined in consolidated bank.
Sitharaman added that the profitability of public sector banks has improved as the total gross non-performing assets reduced to 7.9 lakh crore rupees in March 2019 from 8.65 lakh crore rupees in December last year. She said the reforms initiated in the public sector banks have started showing results, with 14 banks posting profit in the first quarter of the current fiscal.
Gross NPAs have come down. So in December 2018, if you had 8.65 lakh crores, now the asset quality has improved, NPAs have come down, and the level at which they are today is only 7.90 lakh crores.
To strengthen regional presence, Sitharaman announced that Indian Overseas Bank will continue its operations in the south, UCO Bank will keep operating in the east, and the Punjab and Sindh Bank will continue with its business in the north. These banks will continue as independent entities. After the mergers, the country will have 12 public sector banks, including the State Bank of India and Bank of Baroda. Sitharaman also unveiled governance reforms in public sector banks, saying their boards will be given autonomy and be enabled to do succession planning. Bank boards will also be given the flexibility to fix sitting fee of independent directors. Last year, the government had merged Dena Bank and Vijaya Bank with the Bank of Baroda, creating the third largest bank by loans in the country. Panchanan Mishra's report for Rajya Sabha TV.
And the GDP growth for the first quarter of the current financial year stands at 5% as per the official data released on Friday. Now, this is due to deacceleration in the manufacturing output and subdued farm sector activity. The gross value added growth in the manufacturing sector has been recorded 0.6% in April to June quarter. The mining sector growth climbed to 2.7% from 0.4% a year ago.
Quarterly indicators report short-term changes in the different economic parameters, and it is important to note significant upward trends in electricity and power generation, which has grown by 8.6% as per IIP, among other indicators. What we must definitely take into account here is that typically world over, electricity and power generation is a good leading indicator, and therefore its growth by 8.6% compared to 4.3% earlier is definitely something that we should take note of, which may indicate, together with the growth in credit at about 12%, may indicate that there are some green shoots towards a higher growth rate.
And today is the last date to file the income tax returns for the financial year 2018-19. Filing the income tax returns after the due date will attract a penalty up to 10,000 rupees. The amount of money charged as penalty or fine for the belated ITR increases based on the degree of delay, according to the Income Tax Department. The Central Board of Direct Taxes, or the CBDT, on Friday notified the creation of a 5-member special cell to address the grievances of startups with relation to angel tax and other tax-related issues. An order issued by the CBDT said that the startup cell will be headed by the member Income Tax and Computerization of the board. The cell will work towards redressal of grievances and also mitigate tax-related issues in case of startup entities with respect to the administration of the Income Tax Act. Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman, remember, had last week announced the creation of such a cell in the CBDT during a press conference and had also announced exempting the startups from the so-called angel tax. Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu today called for bringing about much-needed reforms in the international political, financial and business institutions to make them more representative of the ground realities. Addressing the inaugural session of Deccan Dialogue 2, Economic Diplomacy in the Age of Disruptions at the Indian School of Business in Hyderabad, the Vice President said that India supports a rules-based multilateral order to tackle many common challenges such as climate change, technology divide, trade disputes, terrorism, connectivity, and maritime threats. The Vice President said that enhanced regional connectivity, both physical and digital, can boost trade and play a pivotal role in bringing prosperity and development. He also said that India would support all efforts to keep our oceans open, secure, and free for the benefit of all. He further said that India's vision of Indo-Pacific was rooted in advocacy of Sagar, security and growth for all in the region.
Irrespective of its failings and drawbacks, we must acknowledge that the process of globalization opened up a world of possibilities. For a young, dynamic and developing country like India, globalization puts the markets of the world within a reaching distance and combined with the process of economic liberalization undertaken by India, the job market that young Indians face today is fundamentally different from what it used to be a couple of decades ago. This became possible because we embraced the process of globalization and we have striven to make it work for us. India is the world's 6th largest economy, contributing over 15% of the global economic growth and is poised to contribute to the global economic strength for the next many decades. As we are aware, the 21st century is being hailed as the Asian century, and India has a key role to play in promoting peace, security and development in Asia and beyond.
In Midday News, we'll take a very short break. We'll be right back with more news. Stay with us.
ऑर्गन डोनेशन जितनी ज़्यादा एनकरेज किया जाए उतना ही कम है, क्योंकि जो एक ऑर्गन एक मरते हुए व्यक्ति में बेकार हो जाएगा, अग्नि को चला जाएगा या कब्रिस्तान में चला जाएगा, उस ऑर्गन से अगर किसी को जीवन मिल सकता है तो इससे बेहतर कोई बात नहीं हो सकती। तो ऑर्गन डोनेशन जो है वो हम सबको एनकरेज करनी चाहिए। इससे जो है जो जीवन जो है वो सुरक्षित रहता है। किसी की अगर किडनी काम नहीं कर रही है उसे किडनी मिल जाएगी, तो इससे भला तो कोई और काम हो ही नहीं सकता। किसी को जीवन दान देना जो है इससे भला कोई काम नहीं हो सकता।
3 million people have now given the thumbs up to Rajya Sabha television. RSTV's growth has been phenomenal, with the journey from 2 million to 3 million being completed in less than 6 months. That's over 6,200 new subscribers every day. Our online viewers are engaging with us more actively. Every day, thousands like, share and comment on our videos. So come and join this growing tribe of RSTV viewers and get ready for an exciting journey.
ऑर्गन डोनेशन जितनी ज़्यादा एनकरेज किया जाए उतना ही कम है, क्योंकि जो एक ऑर्गन एक मरते हुए व्यक्ति में बेकार हो जाएगा, अग्नि को चला जाएगा या कब्रिस्तान में चला जाएगा, उस ऑर्गन से अगर किसी को जीवन मिल सकता है तो इससे बेहतर कोई बात नहीं हो सकती। तो ऑर्गन डोनेशन जो है वो हम सबको एनकरेज करनी चाहिए। इससे जो है जो जीवन जो है वो सुरक्षित रहता है। किसी की अगर किडनी काम नहीं कर रही है उसे किडनी मिल जाएगी, तो इससे भला तो कोई और काम हो ही नहीं सकता। किसी को जीवन दान देना जो है, इससे भला कोई काम नहीं हो सकता।
At least 8 workers were feared killed today morning in an explosion of cylinders at a chemical factory in Dhule district of Maharashtra. At least 100 workers were present inside the factory located in Wagari village in Shirpur Taluka when the incident occurred at 9:45 am. According to police, multiple cylinders exploded at the factory and rescue operations are presently on. Various teams of police, disaster management, Fire Brigade are conducting rescue operations. The government plans to hold a grand function at the Sabarmati riverfront in Ahmedabad to mark the 150th birth anniversary of Mahatma Gandhi. A commemorative coin and postage stamps will also be released. A statement issued by the government also revealed that the program on 2nd of October is one of the special events planned across the country to mark the occasion. In fact, plans are also afoot to unveil Mahatma Gandhi's busts in 54 countries. The statement said that the meeting of Executive Committee for commemoration of the 150th birth anniversary of the father of the nation was held on Friday under the chairmanship of Prime Minister Narendra Modi. Defence Minister Rajnath Singh, Home Minister Amit Shah, Finance Minister Nirmala Sitharaman and Leader of Opposition in the Rajya Sabha, Ghulam Nabi Azad, were also present in the meeting, and also 8 eminent Gandhians who are the members of the committee were also in attendance. And Niti Aayog Vice Chairman Rajiv Kumar on Friday said that the usage of data by people in e-commerce needs careful oversight. Speaking at a workshop on e-commerce titled Changing Competition Landscape in India, organized by the Competition Commission of India, Niti Aayog Vice Chairman said that underlying comparative advantage and the strength of the fast-growing e-commerce sector comes from data. He said that CCI and other authorities are looking into cyber issues and are looking to bring a balanced situation where data is not used to create unprecedented market power. He said that the shares of e-commerce have also increased significantly and is bound to grow many folds in the future as well.
This industry is going to be critical. Our retail trade at the moment, in my view, with all due respect to everybody concerned, is not matching up to the needs of a 21st century Indian economy. The new India that we envisage must have also a retail sector which is technology driven, which is modern, which is looking forward, and which is trying to bring in within it a larger and increasing number of sectors within its fold. So that all the farmers, all our fishermen, all our horticulturalists, etc., are all benefited with this, and the consumer and producer's welfare is gained and is not lost in unnecessary intermediation.
And officials from India and Pakistan discussed the technical modalities of the proposed Kartarpur corridor in a cordial atmosphere on Friday. 15 officials from each side discussed issues like the level of the roads and the bridge of the proposed corridor for Sikh pilgrims. This was the first such meeting after the revocation of Section 370 in Jammu and Kashmir. The meeting took place at the zero point on the Wagha-Attari border and it lasted for close to 2 hours. Both sides agreed to complete various works relating to the corridor well in time before the 550th birth anniversary of Guru Nanak in November. The corridor from Dera Baba Nanak in India to Gurudwara Darbar Sahib in Pakistan will be the first visa-free corridor between India and Pakistan. On to some other news now. Kanyakumari-based Vivekanand Kendra and its state units will launch a year-long nationwide contact program for the 50th foundation year of Vivekanand Rock Memorial to spread the messages of Swami Vivekanand. The mass contact program titled Ek Bharat Vijay Bharat will be launched on 2nd of September. With a meeting with President Ramnath Kovind, the team will then call on Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu and also Prime Minister Narendra Modi. 20,000 workers of around 1,005 units of Vivekanand Kendra across the country will be involved in the program.
स्वामी विवेकानंद का संदेश, विवेकानंद शिला स्मारक की प्रेरक कहानी और विवेकानंद केंद्र की गतिविधियाँ, इन 3 विषय को लेकर हम राष्ट्रपति से शुरू करते हुए उपराष्ट्रपति, प्रधानमंत्री और फिर पूरे भारत भर सबसे संपर्क करते हुए हम इन विषयों को लेकर जाएंगे.
Prime Minister Narendra Modi's Principal Secretary Ripendra Mishra has decided to step down from his post after serving as a key aide of Modi for over 5 years. Principal government spokesperson said on Friday that Mishra has been asked by the Prime Minister to continue, however, for 2 more weeks. In a tweet, the Prime Minister said that Mishra will be relieved of his post from the 2nd week of the next month. He said that Mishra is among the most outstanding officers who has a great grasp of public policy and administration. The Prime Minister said that Mishra's guidance remains extremely valuable for him. Mishra has been in the PMO since 2014 after BJP-led NDA came to power and Modi became the Prime Minister. And Rajiv Gauba took over as the new Cabinet Secretary on Friday after the superannuation of Mr. P.K. Sinha. He will now be holding the position for 2 years. Rajiv Gauba is an IAS officer of Jharkhand cadre, 1982, and he has previously held important posts like Union Home Secretary, Secretary, Ministry of Urban Development and Chief Secretary, Jharkhand. He has also represented India at the IMF or the International Monetary Fund. And ISRO on Friday said that it has successfully performed the 4th lunar-bound orbit maneuver for Chandrayaan-2 spacecraft that is currently in the lunar orbit for its rendezvous with the moon. All spacecraft parameters are normal, the Bengaluru headquartered space agency said after the maneuver on the spacecraft. Now, there will be one more orbit maneuver on 1st of September to make the spacecraft enter its final orbit, passing over the lunar pole at a distance of about 100 kilometers from the moon's surface. And ISRO said that subsequently, the lander will separate from the orbiter on 2nd of September and enter into the orbit around the moon. And Vice President M. Venkaiah Naidu met PV Sindhu and her family at his residence in Hyderabad today. The Vice President congratulated PV Sindhu for winning the first gold medal at the World Championships. He also called Sindhu as the pride of our nation and said that she is an inspiration to all youngsters in the country.
I'm extremely happy to receive Sindhu and her parents after her successful winning the first gold medal. I would like to congratulate her for this historic win, and she is a pride of our nation, and she is a great inspiration for the budding sportsmen and women across the country.
Sports news now. India were 264 for 5 against West Indies at stumps on the opening day of the second and final test at Sabina Park in Jamaica. Skipper Virat Kohli scored 76 runs and Mayank Agarwal scored 55. Hanuma Vihari is batting on 42 and Rishabh Pant on 27. For West Indies, Jason Holder took 3 wickets and Cornwall and Roach took 1 wicket apiece. And earlier, West Indies won the toss and elected to bowl first. Remember, India won the first test by 318 runs at Antigua, with already clinching the T20 and the ODI series against the Windies. And with that, we wrap up this edition of Midday News. Thanks so much for your time. The Indian Railways will have its